Tonight, one person's dead, as many as 30 others out of their homes after a fire ripped through a Kalamazoo apartment. It happened just before 1 o'clock this morning at the Village of Kalamazoo complex near Michigan and Drake. 24-Hour News 8's Joe LaFergie is live, finding out why residents didn't get an early warning.
Well, first, the information off the top, Brian, on the victim. We have been in touch with Kalamazoo public safety officials throughout the day. They tell me at last word that they have not been able to get a hold of all of the family members of this victim yet, so we are not going to report her name at this point. Now, she died in a third-floor apartment. Take a look at the one just over my shoulder here. You see all the damage to the roof. That is not the apartment where the fire started. There's a mirror image of that apartment on the other side of the building. That's where the victim was. That's where the fire started. No cause yet, but I'm told a coffee can with discarded smoking materials sitting next to a couch on a similar porch has the attention of investigators. Many of the residents who escaped say they were alerted by their neighbors and not by the building's fire alarm system. The flames began in a third-floor apartment. By the time crews arrived, they were shooting through the roof. Firefighters couldn't locate the victim.
It was pretty much a scary situation. It was like being in a haunted house, actually.
Minutes earlier, Jathan Carter, along with his girlfriend, 3 children, and the family pet were inside the same building. Carter heard the maintenance man yelling, looked outside, and saw an orange glow. He and his family escaped.
Then that's when I proceeded to go around and see if I could alert the other neighbors, you know, with maybe some shouting, some beating on the windows. But I'm pretty sure everybody in this building will say that we didn't hear anything. No kind of smoke detection.
Carter was not the only resident not hearing the warning, so we started asking questions. Well, it turns out the complex owned by Grand Rapids-based Hope Network has 2 alarm systems. The first, located inside the apartments, is meant to warn just the residents of that apartment. We checked Kalamazoo City building records and found that 2 years ago, during the last code inspection at Villages of Kalamazoo, a number of apartment detectors weren't working. Kalamazoo building officials say they were all repaired within weeks of the 2011 inspection. The apartment complex employee charged with making sure they worked at the time was fired. One resident speculated that the smoke from last night's fire had not seeped through the fireproof doors on the individual apartments enough to set them off. But how do they know for sure?
Maintenance go through and they do it annually. At the very least, they do it annually, and maintenance now do it anytime they go into a unit.
The other system is located in the hallways outside the apartments. It's wired directly to fire dispatchers, and it works with the complex say this kind of system is standard and up to code. It prevents residents of the entire building from having to deal with nuisance alarms, like from burnt popcorn. But beyond alerting firefighters early on, it did nothing to let residents know of the dangers last night.
We've had this system for 9+ years. There's no reason to think that we need to upgrade the system.
Now, on the investigation, that will continue tomorrow. I'm told fire investigators with a company that insures the property will be here comparing notes with Kalamazoo Fire Marshal's, the Fire Marshal's office, to try to come up with the cause. Live in Kalamazoo, Joe LaFergie, 24-Hour News 8.